Hi, I've had a parent ask for some information on how I am teaching division to your children, and he wanted to be able to help. So I thought I would just share this with everybody. So we're starting off with this problem. An auditorium has 1,036 seats. There are 37 rows with the same number of seats in each row. About how many seats are in each row? All right, so let's take a look at what the problem is telling us to do. An auditorium has 1,036 seats. So I would ask your kids to write the notes down. 1,036 seats in auditorium. All right, then the next thing I would be asking your child to do is go back into the problem again and see what it says to do. There are 37 rows. So you can draw all 37 rows, but probably you don't need to. There are 37 rows. 37 rows. Only drawn just enough to kind of get an idea of what this is really telling us. All right, and then it says about how many seats are in each row. The word about makes me know I'm probably going to be estimating. So I'll do the estimating, make a little note over here. But it looks to me as though I'm going to have to take these seats and put there are 37 rows. I'm going to have to divide it by the 37 rows to find out how many are in each row. So I know it's a division problem. Now here is the way we're doing division, which is probably very, very different than what you did. And you did a traditional algorithm, and right now a lot of our kids are still not solid on their multiplication facts. So what we do is this. Plus also, this is a long division problem. Just let me show you. So what we do is we set it up just like your normal division problem. 1,036 divided by 37. But instead, we make a long line, and then I ask the kids to make a second line right here. This is the space where they're going to add up the number of 37s. Then over here, after we just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then times, 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 37, 37, 37, 37, and 37. I remember when I was a little kid and I was in fifth grade, I would just cry over not knowing how to figure out how many 37s were in this. And this just takes away all of the worry and the fear about it. So the next step I asked them to do is to at least find their first five 37s, their first five multiples of 37. 37 times 1 is 37. And then I asked them to just add 37 plus 37. 7 plus 7 is 14. Add my 1, 6, 7. So then 74. And then 37 again. 4 plus 7 is 11. That's 10 plus 1 is another 11. So 111 plus 37 is 8, 4, 1, 148, plus 37. 8 plus 7 is 15. 1, that's an 8, 185. And I always tell the kids that when they get to number 5, they'll know they're probably on the right track if it ends with a 0 or a 5. All right, and now I have just enough multiples to help me be able to divide. The first thing I tell the kids to do is I tell them, just like you did, can you divide 1 by 37? No, because it's less than 37. Can you divide 10 by 37? No, because it's less than 37. But I can do 103 divided by 37. So now that I know I'm working with 103, I'm going to try to find the closest thing I can get without going over. So it looks like if I do 37 times 3, that's too much. So I've got to do 37 times 2. So I have them do 37 times 2 equals 74. Now, when they look at this, they might just go like that, but I'm instructing them to make sure they know that if they put their 74 right at the front, that's going to be too much, and you're going to be trying to do 1,036 minus 7,400. So if that doesn't work, I tell them to remember that they shouldn't have put the 7 in the front, on the very front thing. It's 37 times 2, which is 74. Now, it's not really going to be 74. I really need it to be 740. So I'm going to add a 0 here and a 0 here. And then I can subtract. This part you're probably pretty familiar with, right? All right, 6 minus 0 is 6. And I'm going to come over and borrow, make that a 9. And this is 13. 13 minus 4 is 9. 9 minus 7 is 2. So it came out to 296. All right, now I'm going to hit my list over here and see what I can do. Looks like I'm just going to have to do 37 times 5. 37 times 5 is 185. And then I can subtract again. 6 minus 5 is 1. 9 minus 8, 1. 2 minus 1, 1. All right. Oh, look. Perfect. There's no remainder. 37 times 3 is 111. So 37 times 3 is 111. And I have no remainder. Now, to find out how many 37s were in this number, 1036, all I have to do is just add. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 0, 8. 2 plus 0, 2. So 37 times 28 equals 1036, and my answer is 28. So about how many seats? No, I always ask them to come back to the problem, and the problem said about how many seats are in each row, and I came up with 28, so I'm going to go find the number that's the closest. So I would not go all the way to 100. I wouldn't go down to 10. I'd have to pick C because 25 would be the closest. All right. And this method is a modification of something called the Big Seven. So if you go and do some YouTube searching and you try to find the Big Seven, it'll be very similar to this. The only difference is with the Big Seven, then it doesn't have the kids write down their 5 multiples. And this part is so very helpful, especially for long division, dividing two-digit numbers, or if your child is just still shaky on their multiplication facts. It makes it really easy to divide even without knowing all of your facts. So enjoy, and if you have any questions or comments, please just reach out to me. Thank you, and have the greatest day ever.